Hey, Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel. Today we are opening up the second version of Lieutenant Griffin the Eraser that I have picked up because, of course, I reviewed one of the translucent con exclusive versions. I think it was the camouflage interference or something along those lines. You can see that on the channel. But today we're looking at the standard default version of Lieutenant Griffin based on the Invisible Man. Got cross-sell on the back of the box, credits for all of the people involved with the creation of this figure. And then we've got a little bio comic here on the inside panel telling the story of Lieutenant Griffin. And this is interesting because we see here what appears to be, well, no, I don't think that is Donner Party. I think that's just a zombie trooper. So Lieutenant Griffin is a bad guy. You know, most of the modern military look thus far, wow, there's a great deco on him that I didn't realize was going to be on there. Most of the modern military looking figures have been with Declan Van Helsing. So for Griffin to be on the side of the Forgotten King kind of shakes things up a little bit. I like it. And I still don't have the easiest way to get this thick cardboard opened up. This is a heavier one. It looks, there's a ton of accessories with this character. Which is good because, you know, since I love this lab. Look at that. That looks great. You know, since I've already reviewed him, it's good to have something exciting and new in here. Wow. Yeah, there's good stuff here. And I will say you don't have to worry too terribly much about popping accessories out of these trays because they're all pretty sturdy. You know, I'm not saying don't be careful, but every time I've been pretty comfortable putting a little pressure on those to pop them out of the tray. And also the tray isn't the more rigid plastic that we've seen in some of the action figure trays lately. It's got a little more give. It's a little easier to deal with. And I do like, you know, it makes sense mythology-wise, because while a lot of your more traditional monsters are unwitting victims in some way, the Invisible Man, while he did not mean to permanently end up the way he ended up, there was a lot more choice in the evil he perpetrates than in some of the other monsters. He is much less a victim in his story. So I like that in Operation Monster Force, they've gone with that, where Griffin is choosing to be on the side of evil. All right, let's do a zoom in. First, we've got the default bandaged head that actually is translucent under those bandages. Really nice touch there. He's got the tactical vest that is shared by a lot of the Operation Monster Force characters, but we've got some different elements on here. These pink vials. This is, let's see, so some of these parts are modular. Trying to decide if that is. So this part is definitely modular. Yeah, I think all the four main quadrants here are modular, as well as that chest plate. But let's take a look at the wild camo pattern. So this presumably allows him to become entirely... Oh, look at this. The forearms also translucent. Oh, he's great. Wow. But look at this camo pattern. Let's go ahead and zoom all the way in. So this is very much like, if you didn't watch the Elizabeth Moss Invisible Man movie, watch it. It is an awesome twist on the Invisible Man. I really, really dig it. That, to me, it's the kind of thing that I want to see if we're doing reboots of concepts or reimaginings or whatever, to make it a technology thing. So not only is Griffin himself invisible, but he has a suit that has, presumably some kind of light refracting technology or whatever. This is amazing. I didn't realize how impressive this figure was going to be. Look at the deco. And this is why I say, or one of the reasons why I say this line is going to be the line that, come what may, I will collect. I consider this my main line, because look at that deco going all the way around. It doesn't stop on the sides. That tampo is 100% covering this figure. This is nuts. You just don't see stuff like this in mass market figures. So when you look at that $40 price point on these figures, this is part of what you're looking at, but another part of what you're looking at is all the accessories that this guy comes with. Man, this is incredible. I'll be honest, I was not as excited about this one because, like I said, I've already got the translucent one, and to me, that's the more exciting version because that's him doing what he does, right? Like I don't need a Larry Talbot figure. I just need a Wolfman figure. So in the same sense, I wasn't as excited about the Invisible Man figure, but they have put so much into this that he's a must-have. You have to have both versions. I'm just moving the joints around a little bit, loosen things up to get a little straighter stance. Man, the tampo on that chest plate is so clean. This is fantastic. I got the separate holster piece on the side, but nice and snug, not sliding around at all. Also separate belt piece, but again, situated right at the top of this waist piece, so it's not moving around. Love the red laces on those boots. The treads look great. A lot of this tooling we've seen in the other soldier figures, but certainly not detailed in this way. So let's take a look at those accessories. We have multiple gloved hands, fist for punching, C-grips, and then gesturing hands. We've got 2 blasters. See that removable magazine. Really cool design there. I've got a port for blast effects and a port for grenade launcher effect. So this is different from the sniper rifle loadout. Look at that. Beautiful. That came with the translucent figure, which I appreciate as well. And then the alternate portrait that is just a translucent head. That's awesome. And I'm fine with the fact that appears to just sit on the bandage neck. That's fine with me. Got the Lieutenant Griffin battle stand. I'm not going to talk again about how I'm using these. Watch the other reviews. I'll get into plenty of detail there. And then tons of little extra accessories here that I'm absolutely fascinated by. Let's see. So we've got a shoulder holster rig, a hand blaster with port for blast effects, knife, which I believe it does. Look at this. Look at that detail on the blade. So it's got a blacked out blade, but there is wear where you can see the metal underneath. That's, again, these little details, this is where you see your $40 going for these figures. This, and look, the buckles. on the shoulder rig. Another smaller hand blaster. A number of little modular pieces for that tactical vest. Oh, what is this? You can't kill what you can't see. Ooh. So we've got a holster, a sheath, extra magazine, and oh, it's a little tiny Crimson Moon insignia that I think I'm going to put on the back of that tactical vest. Got some bandage covers for his forearms, which I think is very cool. I don't know that I'll use them, but how awesome that he includes them. And then, of course, goggles. Got to have those. Look at the infrared detailing, that gloss just on that little central hit of paint. Buckles on the side. And I don't know if there's a specific way those are supposed to go on. Like if there's a right side up or not. But they look great like that. But I'm also interested in the possibility of just sticking them on, yeah, the translucent head. That's kind of cool too. So let's see. I have not yet bothered. I don't think I've messed with taking one of these vests off. So you've got a peg right there. Probably going to be easier to pop the head off, but maybe not. Might come. Yeah, it's definitely going to be easier to take that head off, which I hope is not too terribly difficult. Might need to heat it up. Okay, so there's the head. Should be able to get it from there. So as you can see, that whole... Let's see how easy it is to get this one on. This is a more solid plastic than most of your mass... Oh, look at that. Popped on. I'm very happy with that. So this is a more solid plastic than most of your mass market 1/12 scale figures. So there's a little more effort involved sometime in swapping parts. You have to heat things up, but not always. Not always, as we just saw. So let's get that shoulder holster on. How cool is that? Like almost a more casual, I guess. No, that one's not going to fit in there. That's the much smaller one. There we go. Like almost a more casual spy look. I will say, I do kind of wish he had a translucent neck. Oh, wait. He does. He does. I totally forgot about this other whole bag of accessories that includes blast effects, similar blast effects to what we've seen with the other releases. Full set of hands, trigger finger hands, hands for punching, C-grips. You've got a salute / karate chop hand. And then, yes, does have a translucent neck that I am not going to switch out right now because I can tell you that neck is going to be much more difficult to swap than the head was. But I will do... Oh, look at this. He's got a watch, too. Or some kind of just little wristband. It might just be... Oh, it's the top part of the glove. And again, just that detail. How wild is that? That they sculpted a little piece to sit and be the top portion of the glove. So be aware of that when you're swapping those hands out, to keep that little ring. Just put some translucent hands on this guy, just because. Look at that. I mean, just a completely different look. This is awesome. This is a great figure. Like I said, I was not super stoked about this one. Even the painted rivets on the back here. The level of detail is phenomenal. If you want to, with this shoulder rig, you could certainly heat it up and kind of hold it in place to get it to mold to hang on the figure a little bit better. But this is fantastic. This was not going to be my favorite figure of this wave, and now I think it's entirely possible that it is. I mean, what crazy detail! What a tremendous modern interpretation of the Invisible Man. This is just absolutely great. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, tell your friends about Needless Things, and until next time, buy what you like.
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.